The challenge was that they were just curved lines on a drawing without much detail.
Initially, when I seen him, I thought he was nuts.
I had never done anything with ribbons or like that. I mean, I've tied dimensions to things, but not anything like that.
So we investigated the material that the architect was looking for.
I called the supplier, and the supplier basically told me they didn't have anything either other than the CAD drawings. And I said, you mean you don't have any kind of layout or anything? She said, no, this is the first time we've ever done this. So I said, oh, dang, I'm the guinea pig.
At that point, we were getting down to crunch time for finishing on time, so we couldn't afford any mistakes at that point. If one dimension is wrong, then all the rest of the ribbons are going to be wrong as well. They're going to be slightly off.
I think there was one floor that had like 275 hangers, and he figured out where every one of them hangers was going.
It required collaboration in order to get this done, because first we had to figure everything out in the model, and then we had to collaborate with the field to get everything to work as well. Our superintendent and the layout guys and everyone in the field, everyone who had a hand in doing this, which is a lot of people.
And the guys did a nice job. I mean, the guys that put them up there, they did a really nice job.
And one thing that was really nice, we were able to follow through with the architect's design intent.
I know we were sitting there with the architects that came through when we were down toward the end of the project and they were really happy with the look. I mean, it was basically what they were envisioning when they drew it.
That challenge to the field guys makes their work fun. It's not the same old thing. This was something new.
It shows that no matter what challenges you have in front of you, you have the ability and the people around you to make sure that you're able to do what the owner and the architects want you to do.
The closer it gets to the bid due time, that's when the bigger numbers come in and things start happening fast.
So it was the MAC Terminal 2 bid.
And boom, the power goes out.
And Dan Ryan was in my office at the time, and it was just like, what the heck is this?
The phones went down, nobody could get emails, the internet's down. We're trying to figure out what happened here, because the power's on. We have a generator back there, that backs up a lot of the systems, and everything stayed up, and we're trying to figure out why is all this, not working.
The electrical and mechanical bidders that normally call in weren't able to call in to us because our phones were down.
We talked about what we do if something like that happens in the past and how we would handle it, but obviously never practice it.
There were people digging under desks, grabbing power strips, extension cords, whatever. People running down the hall with printers to plug in just to kind of, get everybody in.
As soon as I realized that my work on the computer was safe, we weren't going to lose that, then after that it was pretty much my job just to block everybody else out and concentrate on putting numbers in the spreadsheet.
Everybody in the office pitched in, and power went out and bam, we had IT there, we had project manager staff helping.
Teamwork, 100% teamwork. The entire office was in there helping out.
Ownership, it was, everybody sprung out of their chairs to do it. Everybody here knows that getting work is our one of our top goals. So everybody stopped what they're doing and sprung in to help. So everybody kind of treated this whole thing as part of their problem, not someone else's problem.
Yeah, I was glad I didn't have to take care of that all by myself.
Submitted the bid, and bam, we were low by just a smidgen amount. So it was incredible how everyone just came together and teamwork.
We got to celebrate afterwards, obviously. It was fun. It's exciting to look back on.
The main challenge was the schedule of the project, the amount of work to get done and the amount of time we had to do it.
You walk out there and it's 42 acres. And this is my first big job, and looking at it and looking around, there's 10 different buildings.
It was $66 million project that we had to get done in basically 16 months.
The fact that we didn't have a choice. Once the corn started rolling in, we had to be up and running. Really made it challenging.
Essentially, the whole project was to gear up for harvest of 2013, and if we missed that by a couple weeks, they would miss the entire harvest, which would defeat the entire purpose of the project. Then of course, spring of 13 rolls around and they plant all the corn in the ground, and you get to watch that grow all summer, knowing that you have to be done when that stuff's ready to be harvested.
They got rain every time they needed it, that inch every week. The corn started coming, and it just kept coming, and the rain kept coming. They didn't have to irrigate, and we knew we were in for a big challenge.
We were reminded frequently of how many days we had left. I mean, it's a drop-dead date. They're going to bring the corn in on trucks, and we're going to be done.
Prayed for some cold weather, but that was about all we could do.
The forecast by the people at Syngenta, which know the product very well, started telling us the corn may be early. And that's when everybody, I think, kind of took a deep breath.
We were working 7 days a week, basically, for the entire duration of the project.
We had an incredible team.
All of us that were out there, I think, really did take ownership of the project. We all felt if that job failed, we failed. And none of us were going to see that happen.
You don't feel that the project's part of you and you're part of it, that you're going to fail.
Looking back, that's what I remember vividly, is that, yeah, we're going to finish, you know, but now looking, like reflecting back at the pictures, it's like, we finished?
The Japanese term kaikaku. It is a phrase that's used for a complete remodel of a space where you just run into it, you grab everything, you take it, you turn it upside down, shake it, pull it out of the room, and then do what you got to do and bring it all back and reorganize it and put it back together.
The challenge there was the mass volume of work that was put in place in such a short period of time.
We had no idea what we were getting into at the beginning.
It's a production line for aircraft probes and that kind of stuff, and we had to take down their old production lines and build up their new ones without stopping production. So it was setting up temporary lines, moving them there, moving their existing to the new area, taking down the old ones.
As it turns out, this ended up being 7 weeks of 24/7.
And it involved multiple separate groups within that area. Multiple contractors, multiple everything.
It was a job that no one person could ever keep up on, and it turned into really a collaborative endeavor by all the contractors and all the team members from Knutson.
It involved everybody coming together from the owner's side. They were heavily involved in this, all the way from Knutson to all of our contractors. Everybody had to work as one team, and it had to be efficient.
We did $5 million in 7 weeks, 1 foot of pipe at a time, you know, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch copper and electrical conduit, and taking down walls and putting new finishes in, floor finishes, paint, ceilings.
I mean, you talk ownership, we had guys working anywhere from 80 to, I think one guy recorded 109 hours in 1 week. I mean, if that's not ownership, I don't know what is.
We've been on site there since 2010. Most of these guys have been there the whole time, so they really take ownership of that building, and they feel like they're almost part of UTC.
And this owner trusted us enough to have us do this work without going through any pricing exercises. And to get that kind of trust from a client like this is unusual.
I mean, we had a great team from subs to UTC personnel. Everyone worked really well together out there, which really made it run smooth.
I guess what makes me most proud about this one is the effort it took from everybody. And to see everybody come together